We're here in Kinderdijk and as you can see there's lots of windmills around. 500 years ago there was a massive flood and people created windmills to stop all the floods for the future.
So on this side is a dike and on this side is a canal. Behind us is a windmill and there's a water wheel and that used to pump water from that way to that way. When the windmill spins around, the water wheel spins around when it was working because it worked the cogs, and it was like because they didn't have electric pumps in the olden days, so they would go from they would pump the water from one side to the other.
There is also a story behind the windmills called Katie the Windmill Cat. Katie had an easy life. She lived with Nico the miller in a Dutch village by the sea. At night, Katie slept on a soft pillow beside Nico in the house by the mill. One day, everything changed. Nico married a young woman called Lena, and that night, when Katie jumped into bed, she found Lena lying on her pillow. She left a trail of white paw prints, and Lena saw them. "Shoo, Katie," she cried. "You're too dusty." Life wasn't easy anymore. One day, Katie woke to the sound of sawing. I'm making a cradle," Nico said. Lena laid a soft quilt inside. That night, Katie jumped into the cradle and curled up on the quilt. Soon a baby called Annick was born in the little house next to the windmill. But Lena said, "Shoo, Katie, you'll make Annick sneeze." One afternoon, dark clouds gathered overhead. The wind howled and rain pounded against the windmill. "We've been through many storms, haven't we?" Nico said, scratching Katie's head. Katie purred. The windmill sails whirled and the great millstones turned. "I won't have a minute's rest till the wind dies down," Nico said. Water rushed into the house. Katie jumped on Annick's cradle. Lena and Nico hurried out of the mill as the cradle swept out of the house. "Annick!" cried Lena. "I'll get the boat," yelled Nico. Katie and Annick sped through the flooded streets in the cradle. Furniture, wagons and even houses swirled by. "There's a cradle. I hope there's no baby in it. It's sure to tip over." A wagon wheel whirled past and sent the cradle spinning. "Look, there's Katie. It's Annick's cradle." The cradle tipped back and forth. Katie the cat saved the baby because every time it rocked about, she always tried to make it level by jumping from side to side. Finally, the cradle bumped against the dike. The boat bumped next to it. "Dear Annick," cried Nico as he took her from the cradle. "Darling Katie," cried Lena, hugging her tightly. "Meow," said Katie. Annick soon grew too big for her cradle, so Katie slept there on a soft quilt that Lena made just for her. Katie had a busy life. She played with Annick and chased mice in the windmill, and when she came home at night, she always remembered to lick her paws before she stepped into the house. After the storm, the villagers built a bigger, stronger dike to hold back the sea. They named the new dike the Kinderdijk, which means children's dike in Dutch.
Hi, so at the moment we're in Kinderdijk, as you can see it's really rainy and we've just gone under some shelter, which is a bush, so yeah, and it was like sunny a minute ago, now it's just started chucking it down, but it's luckily passed over. Last night we saw the princess here of the Netherlands up there because they were opening information centre, and my dad got a really good picture of the princess, and she was looking directly at him, and it was about 10 o'clock that they opened it up, so we got back really late and we had tea at about 11 o'clock at night, so we were very hungry at that time.
What are we heading to?
The opening place. It was just opened last night.
Who was there?
Queen of Holland.
You get to see her?
The princess, yeah, actually. No, the Queen. Actually, the Queen, Fiona.
I thought she'd come to see us, did she not?
Yes, she did. Hello, we are in Kinderdijk, and this is the brand new visitor centre that the Queen opened last night, and we got to see her open it, and there was lots of music, and it's really busy because it's the first day that it's open.
So, how's your trip been so far? This place?
It's really good.
You like much about it?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
In the olden days, they used water wheels for pumps
Very good.
instead of electric pumps that we use now.
That's correct, yeah. Excellent.